eo5 issue. Replace the stack flue sensor, but it still doesn't work. Hey, what happens if we replace the stack flue sensor and it still doesn't work? I've noticed now the heater doesn't even ignite on anymore. Only cold air comes out of the exhaust. And yes, mine reads the 4080 flashing when I hold on to the pool on button. I guess what I'm asking is, should I continue down the path of troubleshooting, or with this older heater that I don't have any other information about, is it time for a replacement?
So here's what I have found. If your heater is 5 or plus years old, as much as I wish they last forever. I mean, granted, I like to provide a product that I know I can guarantee or feel good that for 20 years it's going to work. I can tell you, heaters don't operate that way. And while what you're doing is, the first sense is the stack flue sensor is going, so you replace that, and then it doesn't work. So then you have to go back and go, okay, so why didn't that work? Obviously, if it didn't fire, it means that you never got flame, because if you got flame, then maybe you would get heat, and heat would cause the flue sensor to kick off, so it's not that, it's a step before. And likely what's going to happen is you're going to go from sensor to board to motherboard to gas valve to whatever, and replace all of them. Because it's weird, they work on small millivolts, a lot of those pieces do, and any cracks in the wires, any not quite perfect connections together will cause these things to happen. And unfortunately, unless you have plenty of time to go back and go back and go back and do one little piece and component at a time, my recommendation is just scrap it and replace it. I mean, we get these calls all the time, and we try to go and we find the next component and we replace it for people. And then before long, we're replacing another one. By the time you add up service calls and parts, which pool parts are heater parts are pretty darn expensive. If you bought a whole heater based on parts alone, you would spend 3 times as much as buying a new heater. So, and then on top of that, you look at labor and everything else. My guess is if it's plus 5 years old, I would replace it.